Is it morally correct? Probably not. You do this, you achieve this.
YouTube it's a fairly simple formula.
I like to make people mad. It's the most important thing to actually get views.
Could you guarantee a video to go viral?
You have to make those old people feel like they're going to die if they're not clicking on your video. Make 1 million in 30 days. If I didn't succeed, I was going back to my 9 to 5.
Nobody to somebody.
There is no proof of what you exactly did for him.
That's amazing.
So if you want the sauce...
What's your name, occupation, and bank account password?
Bank account password. Well, you can have my name. My name is Leander Hofkes, or in Dutch we call it Leander Hofkes. My occupation is I'm a YouTuber. I mean, I was a YouTuber. I'm still a YouTuber. It's kind of vague right now, but I see myself as a YouTuber / strategist, even though I kind of hate that word, but that's where I'm heading right now. Bank account password is Linden Chastain 13.
It's a good one. What are some of the results you've been able to achieve as not only a YouTuber, but now as also like a strategist too?
Yeah, so as a YouTuber, I've accumulated over 350,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel Justicul, over like 75 million long-form views. And I've recently started doing like the strategy community leading site, I think back in October of 2023. And since then, we've achieved a lot of positive results for clients and community members. So yeah, I'm excited to continue building that. No Mr. Beast client yet, but we're hopefully getting there someday.
Okay, that's good. So are you currently like strategizing for any channels right now, or is it just like the ideation community?
Yeah, so I'm having some like entrepreneurs in progress that I might get on as clients, but I really started out by just ideating for friends. So the only clients I have right now are members of my community ideation class that have upgraded to be my client because I really want like a success story for them. So we're working on that. Or just a friend for like a higher price, but yeah, just reaching out to him, helping him ideate. But I haven't really worked with the likes of Eric or Mr. Beast or any massive YouTubers yet.
Okay. What are some of the results that they've been able to achieve so far? I mean, it's a short period of time, but what have they been able to achieve?
I mean, one channel is almost monetized. We've already monetized another gaming channel with one video. I've also revived another documentary channel with one video in ideation class as well. And right now we're just building stuff up because a lot of the people I'm working with, I really want those success stories. So one person has no knowledge about YouTube at all. We had to learn. I basically had to learn him everything. So right now he finally has a base where he can build from. So that's hopefully coming in the next few months. And another YouTuber was already somewhat knowledgeable about YouTube, but I really had to learn him how to correctly write a script, do better ideation, do better editing, better thumbnails, better titles. So I'm really working with like these people who start from 0 or maybe like 10%, and I want them to get them to like the top, because I feel like those success stories will be more beneficial for my career than when I would jump in with Mr. Beast's team, be employee number 65, and sometimes I just throw an idea out there and it might get picked, it might just get binned somewhere, but I can at least tell people I've worked with Mr. Beast. I don't think that's really going to benefit my career in the way that helping these smaller YouTubers will.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, not like broke to rich, but like nobody to somebody.
Exactly, because then it's like irrefutable proof, you know? If you jump in with Mr. Beast, there's no way to tell what you've actually done for them. Of course, you do brainstorming with them, but there is no proof of what you exactly did for him or what results you've booked for him. Because that's what I see with a lot of strategists. They have in their bio, like, worked with creators and accumulated so many views. But you don't know from those views what they've done for them or how many views of them of those channels were actually their work. So I really want to establish myself in the scene by having channels, for example, like Leroy Tabrak. I'm not sure if you got him on or if you were getting him on.
Yeah,
but he recently got into the space as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is doing absolutely fantastic with Chris Takes Off right now. So that's a success story I want to achieve as well.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Like he's killing it, and then I'm sure you're gonna kill it too. So
I hope so. I hope so.
So we talked a little bit about the community. It's called Creator Ideation, right?
Creator Ideation is like my newsletter sort of company. The real community is Ideation class.
Ideation class. Okay. And so if I was just to join, how does that work exactly?
Oh, before we get into that, you want to get your views up and you want to get your bread up?
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Well, there's a new business model that I stole from the top creators, the ones that are actually making money, handing it to you directly. I call it the YIPM model, YouTube Info Product Monetization, or just synthesizing. Either way, it's the best way to make money online, not just now, but in the long term. Essentially, you make content about what you love and monetize the attention and audience that you build. I built a free workshop that breaks down how this all works. You can watch after you watch this podcast, of course. The choice of financial freedom is up to you. Links in the description. Now back to the juiciest pod on YouTube.
Because I talked to Leroy about it a little bit, but he said you're like, because he's helping me with it, but he said you're the mastermind behind it. So you want to walk me through that?
Yeah, so how it works is it's basically a community where we give 24/7 feedback. We do live coaching calls every week. It's just any other community you can find on School or Circle or Discord, but the only difference is that I am the main component of the community. So a lot of communities have like coaches that have been trained, but this is sort of like my private coaching community. So anyone who joins the community, we will focus on ideation. So that is titles, thumbnails, video ideas, even some channel ideation here and there. And for me, hooks are also one of the most important things. So we try to include that as well. And then we just work on those specific things with the creators, because that's the main problem for many of them. So a lot of them don't know how to make a good video. In that case, the community isn't really the best, because we do address some issues here and there and we do answer questions, but we're purely focusing on ideation. So if you don't know how to make a good video, then it isn't the best for you. But most creators do know how to actually make a good video, do know how to edit well, but they just lack the creativity and the brain power to come up with good video ideas, package them correctly, and get the views that they deserve. Because there's so many creators out there on YouTube who make fantastic videos, but don't get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your process for creating like a banger video? Obviously idea is like the biggest, like, huge part of it, but you funnel down idea, packaging, that whole process. What does that look like if you're creating a video?
Yeah, so my main process is always starting out with the video idea. So that's what I put at number one. Then I usually go to the script outline because I want to validate that the idea I have is actually doable. For my documentaries, for example, I want to make sure that the story I am telling will be interesting. So I'm looking for some main interesting points in the story before I actually continue with anything of that video idea. Then I go on to the packaging. Title and thumbnail is the most important thing to actually get views. And then I go on to the hook, and that's when I write the script. Now, for my channel Justicul, I don't really have a specific brainstorming process because I've done it for 2 years now. I know exactly what my competition is doing. I know exactly what videos pop off in the documentary niche because I'm studying it every single day, whether I like it or not. So I kind of know what videos are popping up, where the outliers are, what my competition is doing, which topics could potentially be revived. So what I normally do is I just look at my competition. I look in the YouTube search bar and I search for keywords that could be related to any topics or certain video ideas I want to do. And I just get my inspiration from there. However, if you're completely new, you're starting out, you don't know how to navigate your niche or do any market research, then I would highly recommend either using 1 of 10 or doing YouTube manual scraping. So with 1 of 10, you can find outliers in your niche, you can find outliers outside of your niche, ideate that way, or just do manual YouTube scraping. You type in a keyword in the YouTube search bar, and you try to find outliers that way, because one of them, of course, costs money. So if you don't have the money for that and you want to do it for free, you obviously can. It's a bit more difficult, but yeah, by searching keywords in the YouTube search bar, then sorting by view count, you can see all the videos surrounding that topic from highest views to lowest views. And if it has a few videos over a million views that are not shorts, and there's smaller channels with very big outliers, so videos with a lot of views, and you can see a pattern there, that shows potential, and that shows a topic that you could potentially do and give a unique twist to. That's how I normally do it for my clients and members.
Nice. What do you think of, like, do you ever go like an incognito at all and look that way, or do you just strictly do search?
That could work. It leaves you a little bit more reliant on the YouTube algorithm. So you can do that, of course. You can watch a few videos in your niche in incognito, or make a completely new account and just let YouTube recommend stuff to you. That is a way, because that's how I currently do ideation for Justicul. Whenever I see something on my homepage, I'm like, yeah, I could do that. But if you're trying to make moves quicker and you don't have a huge list of video ideas yet, and you want to get something done, I feel like YouTube search is more powerful, because then you can take it into your own hands. You don't rely on YouTube pushing those videos to you, but you're trying to search them up actively.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think by doing like the outlier research and all that, could you guarantee, and you put mix all the ingredients into a pan, could you guarantee a video to go viral, or is that like off the table for like a long form video? Because some people, like, I'm talking to Jenny Hoyos tomorrow, and she's famously said that she can make anything go viral. So do you think that's possible for long form?
I mean, it's a good marketing technique to say that. And I'm sure she can, especially with shorts, but I think shorts are a different ball game, because shorts do get a lot more traction and it's easier to go viral with those. So for shorts, I 100% agree that you could potentially have a 100% success rate. Might be for a couple months. I don't think it's possible forever, but yeah, that could be possible. But for long form, if any strategist or YouTuber or expert ever tells you that they can guarantee a viral video, run away, because it's not possible. You can make sure that it's data backed and that you have all the certain things you want to have right. That's possible. I do a lot of data backed videos, but even then, I've tweeted about this as well. Sometimes the gut feeling even beats the data. So I can make very data-backed videos for my clients and for my community members. But sometimes for my own channel, Justicul, I'm like, this feels right. I want to do this idea because my gut is saying I should do this idea. And there's no data backing it up. But I feel like this is a good video idea. And that's purely experience combined with gut feeling. And those can sometimes explode as well. Of course, there has to be interest and demand. But yeah, to say something can 100% go viral all of the time, no, because there's so many factors. There's also like market timing, there's supply and demand. You could be missing one small thing, or there's like 1% you're missing here and there, and it might not get the result you want. So nobody knows how the algorithm works, and nobody knows how to guarantee viral videos. Otherwise, Mr. Beast would get like 1 billion views per video. I think he's cracked it so far. He has a lot of momentum behind him as well. But if he truly wanted to get viral, for him, viral videos are 1 billion views or like 500 million. So,
true.
Yeah, true. I think it's impossible.
Okay, just bringing it back to what you said about like the algorithm. Do you think that the algorithm is the audience though, or do you think that like the algorithm is like the algorithm?
I feel like it's a combination of both. Like, of course, you are at the hands of the algorithm, so the algorithm decides who it pushes your video to, but it pushes your video to actual people. So you have to take that into account. Of course, you have a lot of people blaming the algorithm and saying, "Oh, YouTube doesn't push this, YouTube doesn't push that." But with impressions, YouTube will always give your video a run of impressions. You're not shadow banned. You're not like Andrew Tate or some shit. It's like it will always give it a run of impressions, whether it's the first day, the first hour, in a week, in a month, in a year. You will see a small spike, and from that small spike, you get data, you see where you go wrong, and that's when you try again. But you always have to keep people in mind, because you can only go so far with data. Even then, if I do data-backed videos for community members, I always think to myself, would a actual human being click on this? Is it interesting? Would it interest me? If I'm being completely like neutral and non-biased, would it actually like interest me?
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes creators always just focus on, like you said, the data, and don't always focus on the other person on the other side of the screen. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, and I know I do that, but
yeah. So to give you an example as well, sorry to cut you off, but to give you an example for my personal channel, I've actually done a video where I think I combined, back when I was doing like Fortnite videos, there was this popular series I had, which was called 8 Hours of Arena. Like I was playing 8 Hours of Arena, which was the competitive playlist. So I basically combined the 8 Hours Arena, a very popular series of mine. I combined that with another popular format on my channel. I tried to combine those. I'm like, surely it's one viral format with another viral format that's gonna be double viral. It's so easy. Like I thought I was a genius. But it absolutely tanked, because then you're forgetting that there's actually a viewer behind the screen watching your videos. And maybe those two formats didn't even work together. But you're thinking in your head like, this went viral, the data shows it's both viral, let's combine it, more viral. No, it doesn't work like that, because there's actually someone watching the video. It's not just the algorithm.
Yeah, that's a great point. So for every video that you make, maybe not for Justicul now, like you said, it's fairly easy for you to come up with ideas because you know the market so well. But if you're starting like a new channel, how many ideas are you coming up for like every one video?
For like a new channel, normally we just ideate a lot. If I'm talking with clients and members, I like to just ideate a lot, write everything down that we think about and we talk about. So those could be 10 ideas, 20 ideas, 50 ideas. It really depends. But of course, I wouldn't really recommend doing a lot of quantity unless you're trying to practice, because I can write down the worst ideas ever and simply just write them down because I thought of them. But I really like to focus on the quality ideas. And normally when I'm doing an ideation session with a client or a member, I'm like, we're going to ideate until I'm like, yes. I feel in my stomach like I love this idea. It's the one. It's the golden idea. Normally my clients find me hilarious because I always start screaming and I get enthusiastic because I know like this is the one. And I keep telling them, this is the one, bro. You can't let it. This is the one. Do it now. Do it now. I want this done now. So that's the feeling I want for the videos we're going to actually publish. Because you can have great ideas, you can have good ideas, you can have bad ideas, but I want excellent ideas. Now, if you're uploading multiple times a week, then okay, you can get away with a few good, great ideas here. Otherwise, you're never going to actually keep up with your upload schedule. But when you're uploading once a month, for example, because I'm working with a basketball documentary channel right now, I'm like, I want every single video we post to be that golden idea. Because we're only uploading once a month and we want to make sure that the viewer will want to wait for the next month. So we can't just go from the best documentary you've ever seen to then like a filler video. Oh yeah, this happened in the NBA and it's not that major, but it's pretty interesting. No, we want every month to be the best documentary on the market.
Yeah, that's good. So do you run like your ideas through any like sort of filters or anything like that, or is it just like I got this gut feel and I know this is the one, or is there any other science behind it?
Yeah, so the thing is, when I'm working with clients or members and I don't know the market, or for example the NBA, I know nothing about the players or whatever. So I let them supply topics to me, and then I search through the YouTube search bar. I look at the amount of views that those names or topics are getting, for example. So that's how I kind of gauge how popular that topic really is on YouTube. If it has a few videos with over 1 million views, and there are outliers on that topic, I'm pretty confident on it.
Okay.
However, when we're ideating completely new ideas, because sometimes we're doing that as well, as long as the topic itself has enough demand and we're going for like a unique twist where we're not sure if, because that hasn't been done already, and we're not really sure if that will get traction, then I purely go based on experience. So I'm like, okay, I know that this will do well, and it's hard for new people to get that feeling, but that just comes with practice. The more you practice, the more successful videos you upload, the more the more you can spot patterns, and the more you get that feeling like, yes, this is a banger.
How long do you think it takes for somebody to develop that skill?
It depends. Like if you're a quick learner, which some of my clients are, they're very quick at learning and they quickly understand patterns. You could do it in a few months. And basically anyone can learn a certain framework to come up with ideas. For example, I have a topic research guide in ideation class, and you can just follow that, and at one point you'll have it in your head, so you understand it. But to truly get that experience, so when you're entering a new niche and you have no idea what you're doing, and then still have that experience to know, okay, that is going to pop off, that will take probably years, I think. It all depends on the person itself, how fast they learn, how talented they are. But for me, it took like 4 years, I think, at least. Because back in the Fortnite days, I was just doing something. I just thought, I guess this works, and it worked. And then I just had this momentum going where I just tried to do things that apparently worked. I had no idea what I was doing. It wasn't until I discussed with another creator, like, okay, I need to get my face out of the thumbnails. I need to work on my packaging. I need to work on my ideas. That is when I truly exploded. So that took me, I think, like 5-6 years to truly understand that. You can do it a lot quicker now, because back then we didn't really have all the information on the internet today. We were just messing around. And Fortnite back then was so huge that you could do anything. You could literally upload like a video of you sitting on the toilet playing Fortnite would go viral. So it wasn't really, it isn't really a good example in that way. But it takes practice. It definitely takes practice.
I did want to ask about, because you posted like the Fortnite videos on Justicul, right? Like back in the day. So how do you think of that transition? Like you made that transition from like Fortnite, and then like now you're posting like document. Like how did that even like connect?
Yeah, it's actually crazy, because this is like my main point of credibility, especially in like the community, because it is so rare to do something like that. I think around that time, Arab, another popular travel creator now, he was actually doing Fortnite as well, and we switched around the same time. I remember we did a podcast, and we talked a little bit outside of that as well. And I was down bad, man. I couldn't pay my bills. I had no idea what to do, because my views were at 20,000, and all of this time I was just riding that demand of Fortnite with no idea what I'm doing. And as soon as that demand died down and the supply took over and I got irrelevant, I had no idea what I was supposed to do. So that is the moment where I truly focused on ideation and actually researching my market and outside of my market. And that's where I found, that's why I always tell people, like, research is so important. Like it's so important, because that's when I found Sunny V2 actually growing a lot. Like he was growing incredibly fast. It was around the time that he made the Belle Delphine video, and that video truly blew up his channel. It went absolutely nuts. So I saw that, and I was like, I can do that. Because I used to do a lot of essays in college, so I knew how to write like good essays, good video essays at least. And I kind of did like a storytelling type videos for Fortnite, kind of paired them with gameplay, so I knew I could do it. However, then was the next question, what is my competition like in Fortnite for that? So I started doing some research. I found only one channel who deleted all of their videos. It was like this massive media company who did these documentaries. Deleted all of them. Not sure why. Maybe like copyright issues, or they got sued. I don't know. The other channel was like a personality-based Fortnite YouTuber who did updates, news, sometimes even gameplay, and the occasional documentary. but he did them very sporadically, like maybe once a month or once every 2 months. So I knew there was an opportunity there, because every time he did do a documentary, it got like over 1 million views. And he didn't do them consistently. So I was like, okay, there's an opportunity here. So that's when I truly focused on making those documentaries. I gave myself 1 week to actually make this video and have it be successful. If I didn't succeed, I was going back to my 9 to 5. That's something I agreed with myself, because if I didn't make it, there was no point. I couldn't pay my bills, so I literally had to find a job. But truly focusing on the ideation for that video, the packaging wasn't great, I can't lie, but the video idea was so good that it just carried my channel and revived it completely, purely because of the video idea. Like, the thumbnail had my face on the right, it was like half of the thumbnail. The other side was somewhat relevant to the video idea, but yeah, half of my face was half of the thumbnail, and it still did well because the video idea was so good. And that's why ideation is king, in my opinion.
The 80-20, for sure.
The 80-20, exactly.
Speaking of packaging, how do you look at it now? And like, what do you do to create a must-click sensation, or like build off of the idea and then create that sort of feel?
So what I normally do is, like I said before, I base it on data. So I first spot outliers, I spot patterns, and what I normally do for Justicul as well is I find a banging topic, like a underrated topic where basically if you cover it, the unique angle of that topic will make the packaging itself. Like, I don't even have to think about it. Especially like my $19 Fortnite card video. I really did my research for that. I found out that he became homeless, and I was like, that is a amazing video. Like, I don't even have to think about the packaging here, because it's just 3 pictures of him looking sad, homeless, and the shock factor is there. So to come up with like really good packaging and a good video idea, it takes a lot of research. It takes spotting outliers, so you know what is kind of trending, what is popular, which topics can I give a unique spin to. And it's like viewer psychology. Viewer psychology is a very big one, especially for Justicul. I like to make people mad. That's what I like to do in Justicul. I want people to be furious when they see my packaging. So for the satisfying downfall of Nadia, it's very dramatic. I do 3 keywords that I know young men will get mad about. OnlyFans, cheating, and doxing. Like, if young men see that, they're like, I'm clicking on that. Who is this terrible, terrible woman? And I have their attention. Now, it is a cheap way of getting attention. And if you made a whole video trashing on her, then I wouldn't agree with it. Even though it is the game of YouTube. But then inside the video, I am more biased. So inside the video, I am unbiased. So I just talk about the negatives. I talk about her side. I'll talk about everything, all the facts. But the packaging, that's where I truly reel people in. And there is a fine line there. You can't go over it, because if you go over it, then you're screwed. You're in like the clickbait YouTube side. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in the Fernando fucking Morgs side of YouTube back in the day. But there is a fine line there. Sunny V2 does it as well. You can somewhat lie in your thumbnails, but you can't take it too far.
Yeah, you gotta walk a fine line.
Exactly. And in documentaries, you can walk a very fine line.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, definitely in finance and stuff, you don't want to really cross that line too much. You just want to keep it a little bit more simple, because yeah, it's a different market.
Yeah, I mean, one thing in finance is like, I know, because I when I did like drop shipping videos, the thumbnail would show like making thousands of dollars, the classic, and then obviously you make like nothing. So there is that. Like, people don't care, but
yeah, but that's fine. But if you compare that with like documentaries, if I would transfer over the same controversial thumbnails to finance, it would be like make 1 million in 30 days. That's how far documentary thumbnails go. But in the finance niche, you kind of somewhat have to tone that down, because people like the honesty more than if you would try to reel them in with unrealistic numbers and then completely let them down in the video itself.
Yeah, And I also feel like with finance too, like you'd if you saw that, like it would be almost like just too unrealistic that it wouldn't even be worth a click. So
Yeah, I think that's why we also see like those sad reality and just like those realistic, like short, like realistic raw videos do so well, because that is what works in finance now. People want to relate to that person. People want to feel like they're not alone. And with documentaries, it's just like, we don't care who watches this. We just want your attention. I don't care how I'm getting it. We just want attention, because all these people will not even care about this video 5 minutes after that. So it's all about getting attention, and we don't care how we get it. It's the same with commentary channels. We just try to reel as many people in, but that's not an ideal strategy if you want to build a brand.
So I want to ask off of that then. What is like your target audience then? So do you not have like you're just trying to get anybody and everybody?
Yeah, that's the thing with documentaries. It's not ideal for sponsorships. I'm getting some pretty good deals purely because of the amount of views I'm getting. But yeah, target audience is all over the place. I feel like I'm only getting like Aiden Ross fans in if I'm looking at the comments. Gotta be like less than 14 years old. But it's mostly US. It's mostly between 13 and 18, if I must believe my analytics. But yeah, it's definitely different than getting a small target audience of entrepreneurs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That is a lot different. How do you? So like, if you make a topic about, let's say, Mr. Beast, and then like the next one is about, shoot, I don't know, somebody else. This is somebody else. How do you carry like like if somebody watches a Mr. Beast, that means they might not be interested in this other person. How do you carry the momentum from like video to video to keep the channel, in an upswing?
Yeah, that's a very difficult one, because for me, that's purely relying on making great videos. So you can do that the Internet Anarchist Sunny V2 way, where every time you make a video, it's the same style, it's very high quality, and people will know, and you will know that people will enjoy it. So they will watch any video of yours. That's a way to transfer that over. I unfortunately did it the most difficult way, because every video for me is a new chance to get viewers in. Like, my analytics are purely new viewers. So every time I make a video, I have to act like I'm targeting all these new viewers, because I barely have any returning viewers. That's a very big problem I have. Purely because I go all over the place with the channel. So sometimes I do Mr. Beast, sometimes I do Nadia, and then I purely have to rely on that packaging and that video idea to reel people in. Because first it goes through a wave of Fortnite kids, because like 60% of my subscriber base is still Fortnite kids. So first my video gets pushed out, it's 10 out of 10. I get the comments like, why are you not playing Fortnite? We miss you. Fuck this, another Mr. Beast video. You should be dead by now, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets pushed to the regular viewers. So they are returning viewers, but they're not Fortnite kids. So then the CTR slowly goes up, views go up, AVD goes up. And then it gets pushed out into the wider audiences. And there it's important that the video is actually very good. That's a good idea, good packaging, because then I reach that wider audience. So all the views you're seeing on Justicul right now, maybe like 10% of that is returning. It's all just pure ideation. And that's what a lot of people forget. And that's why I'm focusing on ideation so much, because I love it. But none of that is returning. Like, Internet Anarchist can upload a video about, I don't know, a makeup vlogger who didn't do anything wrong, and he would still get like 200, like 300,000 views perhaps. For me, that's not the case. I uploaded one Aiden Ross video that wasn't that great. I did many victims of Aiden Ross, and my views were only 30,000. So I have to get it right every single time, which does sharpen your skills, your ideation skills, but it's not the most ideal way to grow your channel. That's for sure.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of pressure for every upload.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to get it right every single time.
Do you think if you went back to when you made the transition, would you have started over with a new channel and done it a little bit differently?
If I could go back, I would probably keep my face involved. Not in the thumbnail, but I would do it the same way as Patrick CC. where I would occasionally show my face throughout the video. I feel like that creates more of a connection, more of a brand, gives more of a reason for returning viewers to come back. But now it's just people recognize my voice, but that's about it. Like, I don't make any jokes or I don't show my face. There's no like personal connection between me and the viewers. I'm just here to provide you the most unique ideas in the documentary niche. That's what I'm here for. So if I could go back, I would create more of a connection with my viewers to get that returning viewer base up. But hey, it's a good case study at least now for ideation class and creator ideation.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, that's a big like overcoming story. So that's great, man. If you had to get 1 million views in one video, like brand new channel, what are you doing? You have unlimited budget. You do whatever you want. 1 million views.
Unlimited budget. I would just do like a Mr. Beast style video. Honestly, I would just look through Mr. Beast videos, see which ones did really well, and try to beat him to the unique twist. So, for example, like a Squid Game, I would, if there was another popular series on Netflix, for example, I would try to do a reconstruction of that, for example. Or he's doing like these $1 versus $1 million or $10 million things. I would try to beat him to another topic. So he did boats and cars and houses. I would beat him to like, he already did planes as well. But I'd try to find something that he hasn't done and beat him to that. Because that's a strategy I do a lot as well. When I'm looking at Sunny V2, Patrick CC, I look at videos that did well for them and I make an update to them before then.
Gotcha. Do you use AI in any aspects of what you do with YouTube?
No, I don't. And I'm not the biggest fan of AI. I'm not a hater, but I right now I just don't see any use case for it. Like, it could help with research and scripting a little bit, but I think AI voiceovers are just terrible. Even the good ones, I can still hear it. Maybe some grandmas on the internet and some children can't recognize it, but every time I click on the video and I hear that 11 Labs voice, I'm going crazy. So I definitely feel like there is potential there. If it gets to a level where you can't even recognize it's AI anymore, then I'm down to jump in with it. But I mean, there's a reason YouTube is demonetizing all of these low quality effort AI channels, man. So there's a long way to go. And I personally don't use it yet. And I might be wrong for that because I should probably adapt. But I feel like right now I just don't have any use case for it yet.
I've been seeing a lot of these like AI video editors. Do you think that'll have a play in the future at all, or no?
I mean, like that new program Sora or something like that, like with the stock footage, that could definitely work. That looks amazing. And it will save a lot of Shutterstock footage. But video editors, I'm out of the loop for that one. There's video editor AI now?
They're for like short form. Like, actually, you know who Daniel Bitton is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his software, like, it does like the shorts like all for you. It just like makes like, it edits it, makes like the whole video. And I think there are like other ones that like actually will like edit a video. It's like short form. It's not like long form though. That's the thing. It's all shorts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so for shorts, I think it will definitely work. If you provide enough value in the short itself, then I think that will blow up regardless. If you make sure it's like edited nicely with AI, then that will blow up. But of course, we will obviously reach a point where if the masses are using it, then it becomes saturated and you need to stand out. And then you're back at the beginning where you actually need to put effort into the content you're making, because otherwise you don't stand out anymore. So even for shorts, that's true. One thing I am very bullish on, however, is Photoshop AI. I'm working with a client who uses that for thumbnails, and I'm literally shocked. Like, the generative fill, that is something I can get behind. That is absolutely crazy. That is seriously crazy.
What do you think of AI thumbnails? Like ones that are completely generated by AI?
I mean, when you combine it with design, it works. Like, I've seen some thumbnails here and there where it's been a combination of AI generation and a thumbnail designer making it more appealing. That looks fantastic. But purely AI-based design right now is still far from where it should be, in my opinion. If you want to go for those high-quality documentary thumbnails where it's just very aesthetic and it's just like one image, then sure. But if you want to include text or certain elements to trigger the emotions of people or like psychology, then you still need that human aspect there.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they can create some really like beautiful designs, but they aren't necessarily like YouTube optimized, so to speak.
Exactly. So they're good for documentaries, for like high quality documentaries, but anything else still needs some time.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about returning viewers and unique viewers for your channel. How do you balance that with ideation for clients and for community members?
How do I balance that? So how do I make
like
sure that the viewers we do get?
Yeah, like appeal to your returning viewers, but then also obviously expand to new viewers because you want to do that in every video. But
yeah, of course. So Nate from Nate Wolf actually has this thing where he makes videos that attract new leads. What was it again? I think it was, like lead generation and lead nurturing videos is something he does. So he occasionally does a video that appeals to the audience of the client, and he mostly does videos that brings in new leads and new clients. However, what I normally do is I look at the data of the channel if they already uploaded. Because if you're starting a new channel, you have no one to satisfy. You just need to get as many people in. And as soon as you have data, then you can play on that. But if there's already an audience there, I just look at which videos did well. I try to gain data from that and play into that. So, for example, a golf channel, if they have a lot of successful videos made for older people, so like how to successfully like hit a hole in one 60 plus, then I know that we have to keep that in mind. So we can't just make, I'm hitting every hole Mr. B style. No, we got to keep that in mind and then try to ideate beyond that. So we can, of course, get new viewers in, but it has to be entertaining for that original audience as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna switch topics here. How much money do you make?
How much money do I make? I'm actually pretty open about this because I'm not a millionaire. I don't make like 100K a month. Right now, I'm roughly making like 10K a month gross, and that's because Ideation Clause is currently being stalled. I'm not pushing it that much because we're either going to expand it into something completely different, which is still secret for now, with partners, or I'm going to scale it myself and bring it to a whole nother platform, not Discord anymore because I'm sick of it. And when I'm truly pushing that, of course, my income will grow with that as well. Clients, I'm also just taking on because I focused a lot on Ideation Clause. So I have a few friends here and there that I'm ideating for, but I truly want to get more clients in as well, like some entrepreneurs I'm in talks with to really work with some actual clients instead of friends and members. So that will, of course, increase my revenue as well. And I have YouTube, Justicul. That's making around like 2 to 3K a month right now, purely because I'm uploading only once a month. However, from sponsors, that can definitely go into the tens of thousands, but that is sporadical. So right now it's about 10K gross per month, which is nothing compared to what the people in the space are making.
Yeah, some people are making insane amounts. What does your day-to-day look like? What's a day in the life of Leander?
It's honestly pretty boring, man. I just wake up at like 11 a.m. I make my breakfast. I sit at my desk. I respond to Ideation Clause clients, and I just get to work. I work from like 11 a.m. to around 10, 11 p.m. So like 12-hour work days roughly. Of course, I do go to the gym in between. I go like 3 days a week. And I spend some time with my girlfriend here and there. I have to. But most of the time, it is the grind. And right now, that's why I'm also not making that much. I'm truly trying to build stuff. Like, I don't care about the money right now. I'm here for like the long run. I want to be here in 10 years. And so I'm trying to just make sure that every product I do build, like Ideation class, for example, or the work I do with clients is perfect. I first want to build credibility and build the best product possible. Then I'll focus on monetization aspect.
Sorry, my mind just blanked.
No problem. I'm probably just rambling here as well because English is not my first language. So sometimes here and there I'm probably talking absolute garbage. But
no, you're good, man. You're doing great right now. So you learned a lot from Justicul, but was that the only way you learned YouTube? How exactly did you really learn YouTube?
Yeah, so Justicul has been the way I learned YouTube, purely because I feel like actually doing the work and making videos teaches you a lot more than just absolutely drowning in education. Of course, when you're starting out, a coach or education or a course will propel you forward. I could have done that back in the day, but I just didn't know. I just didn't know it existed, and maybe it didn't even exist back then. But yeah, I never really watched the Think Media or Roberto Blake. Sorry, Roberto, I love you, but I didn't watch like those YouTube channels. I just did what I could. I loved it. For me, YouTube was a passion, so I didn't even see it as a business or anything like that. I was just making videos I enjoyed. And only until I really got into monetary problems is when I started focusing on truly getting better at YouTube. And I did that by just relying on myself and doing more research. When I got like 20,000 views per video and my bills couldn't be paid, I didn't suddenly just buy a course. I could have done that. I could have got coaching, and that would have probably worked out as well. But I'm really someone who wants to do it themselves and fix it themselves, so I learn more. And for me, it was all or nothing. And from that moment, that is when I learned everything. And also talking to other people. So I talked to that other creator. He taught me a lot about packaging. He taught me a lot about ideation. And from there, I truly got like that passion for it. So I haven't really started studying YouTube and stuff until I truly got successful, which is quite backwards. But yeah, for me now, I'm really focused on results, experience, hard work. And I'm noticing right now that I should probably pick up more. So that's why I'm studying a lot about YouTube, because I want to answer general questions for people and I want to help people with the educational side as well. But I feel like there's so much information out there on the internet. It's a lot of information, complicated graphs, just like formulas about how the algorithm works. I'm just a doer. I just like to get results by trial and error. I don't like to just study and think about the algorithm all day. I just like to do and get results. And if it doesn't work, we'll just try something else. I don't like to fatigue myself with a lot of knowledge and like graphs and data and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. So then if you were starting from nothing, like you were just getting into YouTube, you would just create videos and just learn from them.
Yes. Now, I do think like back in the day for me, there were no educational, like really good YouTube videos, or there was no Twitter community where you could learn a lot, where people would just send free case studies to you or free courses to you in DMs purely because they want to get more leads. That wasn't the thing back in the day. So I did it all by trial and error, but I think if you combine trial and error and practice with learning on YouTube and Twitter, for example, or buying a course here and there, if you combine those two, that is when you will see success in record time. Because how I did it is not ideal, but it did shape me in the person I am today. So I'm someone who's really like, okay, you can join this Discord. Here are some guides I made. Here's some information I give away, because I do have knowledge and I do share it in the way I find it helpful. I'm not trying to copy other creators or other Twitter gurus or whatever. I'm just showing you like, this is how I think it works because it worked for me. And this is how I explain it. If it's not complicated, there's no graphs here. It's just fucking easy children language. Do this, do this, do this. This equals views. This equals better packaging. I'm not talking about the theory of packaging quantum physics. No, it's like you do this, you achieve this. And that's my style. And a lot of people might then think that I'm not knowledgeable. But for me, it's all about doing and experience. And I'm trying to translate that as easy as possible to people I'm teaching. So for people starting out, try to find like those people that do give you that information in the most easily digestible way so you can learn. Try not to get involved in like the small circles where there's a lot of circle jerking about YouTube algorithm and certain theories and strategies and stuff, because you'll get information fatigue. At that point, you're like, okay, I'm not sure what to believe anymore. It sounds way too difficult. YouTube sounds like a math problem now. I'm not even going to start because I have nowhere near the knowledge of these people. No, I would really recommend checking out someone like Film Booth, for example. It makes it easy for you to understand. Go from there, combine that with actually practicing, and you'll have a successful channel in no time.
Yeah, for sure. Like YouTube is, like you said, people overcomplicate it. It really is like it's a fairly simple formula, and then sometimes like you did say, like I have seen that where people will be like, it's not that simple, or they'll say like, well, if it's that simple, why doesn't everyone do it, or just like lame excuses like that. But in reality, like it boils down to something very simple. There's obviously nuances that go into it, but at the core, it is very simple. In film,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've literally seen entire line graphs and bars and fucking formulas and so I'm like, what is going on here? If I just read through it, I can just summarize it as just make better packaging. Yeah. That's it. Like get more attention of like it's so complicated for people. And of course there's different target audiences, so that does appeal to some people. But I believe those people will never actually make a video. They will just study and study and study and are like, okay, I know everything about YouTube now. And as soon as it comes to actually making a video, it flops. Because they're like, oh yeah, I didn't do the formula that way. I need to construct this title in that way. But they're forgetting that they're just talking to people. They're making videos for people. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What I was saying before was Film Booth. We mentioned I learned a lot from it. That's how I learned a lot about YouTube, was just watching a Film Booth. Like you said, he does such a great job. Obviously now he doesn't post it, very much, but still, it's a great way to just like take away just a couple things. Like you get some information, you act on it, then you get some more information, you act on it. And it's not just all big brain dump. And you try to figure that all out. That's just a big mess. So just taking away a couple things and taking action is usually the best course of action, from what I've seen and from what I've learned too. So yeah.
Because Film Booth is not like an algorithm genius. He just shows everyone what worked for him. He's not a YouTube expert. I mean, he is a YouTube expert, but he's not like an algorithm expert where he studied certain data for this amount of time and he knows that if you do this then this graph goes up, which means that this viewer will do this. No, he just did the things he's supposed to do, and he's teaching it to the people right now in the way he feels is the easiest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what do you think about Film Booth? Because like back in the day, before like he was like a somebody, he was teaching YouTube as like a nobody. So to speak, because I don't think he really had any like previous successes. How do you think that he was able to like overcome that?
I feel like it's a lot of market timing. It's also just putting in the time to actually understand YouTube. So I'm not too sure about his past. He might have had a successful channel. I can't talk about that, but purely basing it upon the fact that he didn't have a successful channel before that. I feel like if you're timing the market well, so you're supplying to the demand in the right way with the right information, and you're starting to get results from that, then you could already gain credibility. I mean, Paddy Galloway started out with breakdowns of Mr. Beast videos, Brian Trahan videos. He wasn't like a massive YouTuber I'm not sure if you worked with big YouTubers already back then, but another example I have is oh, yeah, exactly. And Richard, for example, I don't know if you know Richard from Twitter. That strategist, he actually made YouTube videos the same way as Paddy Galloway about, for example, Mr. Beast's strategy, and those got like 5 views. But because of those 5 views, one of them was Mr. Beast. He got put on board, and that's how he gained his credibility. So everyone starts from somewhere. I'm not saying that every single strategist or YouTube expert had to have had their channel or had to have built a YouTube channel, because, as I said, you can gain a lot of knowledge from YouTube, Twitter, the internet in general. And those people are very good at teaching, which is also a huge factor. If you're good at teaching and you have knowledge about YouTube, in that way you can also build credibility. For me, I'm not the best teacher. I'm just a doer. And English is not my first language, so I stumble over my words a lot. I forget a lot. So I'm not the best at teaching. I'm working on that though, because I feel like you should always work on yourself and try to become the best version of yourself. So I feel like I could reach that level. But I will never, of course, be as good as a teacher as Film Booth, because I'm not a native English speaker, and he has had so many years in the YouTube educational game. So I'm just trying to do it a different way. I know that I have an unfair advantage in the way that I actually built a channel for years from the ground up. I have a lot of experience in doing. So I'm trying to teach the same way to other people, like by doing and by sharing that experience with them.
Yeah. That's good. It's a different angle, unique angle, and it works. Because like you said, you have the proof. So, what's something you believe about YouTube that no one else does, and no one else seems to believe? Need some hot takes. We need some clips.
It's pretty difficult, man. I feel like AI has no place in YouTube right now, and that might be controversial. I feel like, yes, you could get views with AI because you're simply supplying a huge demand that no one is willing to supply with actual good content. So yes, you're getting views that way, and people will see that as, yes, AI is taking over. It's the new future. People will be irrelevant because look at this one video that got views with AI. But there's all these external factors that they're not taking into account, like the supply and demand, for example. If you try to compete with Sunny V2 with an AI voice on his topics, yeah, I don't think AI is going to do anything there, buddy. I'm just saying. So I truly think AI is overhyped right now. I feel like it could live up to the hype when it gets better and better. For example, Sora is shocking and it's incredible. And the Photoshop AI as well. But 11 Labs and stuff, man, like people are just overhyping it right now. And that's my opinion. Every time someone comes into my Discord and it's like, yeah, I'm using this AI voiceover, any thoughts? I'm like, shit, just sounds like shit. It does. But I can't lie to you. Yes, if you're in the market where you can supply that demand, sure, go for it. But I'm not going to tell you it sounds good, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't sound like a human at all.
Yeah. What do you think of like AI influencers? Because that's something I started seeing recently. I was like, what am I even like seeing right now?
I mean, listen, right? I think it comes down to the same thing as like the OnlyFans. The OnlyFans, what do you call it? Sorry, I'm losing my mind here. Like the OnlyFans ecosystem right now. That's what I can compare it to, because you have all these people investing in OnlyFans models, right? So they can talk to them. But little do they know, there's an Indian team just chatting to them 24/7. So they are basically talking to Indians, right? I feel like they don't even care about that. I feel like a lot of people know that, but they just want to believe it's true. And it's the same for AI influencers. They don't care that it's AI. They don't care that it's not a human being. It's just someone that is giving them attention back, and they will just believe in their brain that it's actually someone. They don't care. They will make it up for themselves. I think that's the same way you can compare those two.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. They're pretty much just delusional.
I mean, there's a lot of lonely men out there right now. It's a fucking epidemic, man. So if you have all these lonely men and they're inside all day, like they get more antisocial with the day, because no one is is confident enough to step up to a woman in public anymore, because they either lack the confidence, they got rejected a lot because women have all the access in the world right now to any man they can get on Instagram. Or I'm sounding like Andrew Tate here almost, but I promise I'm not. But what was I about to say here? Yeah, or they're scared of just getting called a creep or something, because if you step up to a woman nowadays, you're easy to get called out for it, get called a creep, or even with like the whole gym thing right now, where if you look at a woman once, it's like, oh, you got recorded, yeah, you're a creep now, you're a creep. So I feel like men are so scared to actually go up to women now and find a dating life or dating circle, that they'll just resort to either porn or AI influencers or OnlyFans or anything which will still satisfy that craving, and they will just make it any way they want just to fit that craving. Like, they don't care that it's fake. They just want to feel something. Yeah. Sounds very deep, but I feel like that's how it is, man.
No, I think you're right, and I mean, like, yeah, I'm single, and I mean, like, I'd be scared, like 100%. I'm like, yo, I'm not going to, like, what? I'm trying to get canceled out here, but you know.
I do get that. Because there's so much like risk as well. Like, if you meet the wrong person, they could frame you for anything. Like, if you kiss them, if you go to bed with them, they could frame you for anything, man. And I feel like it's a lot less here in the Netherlands because we don't have that LA lifestyle here, but especially in like Los Angeles or anywhere where you have like those gold diggers and party people. If you make one wrong decision, I feel like it could ruin you for life, which is what also makes people scared.
Yeah, you see that a lot with like athletes, where their careers just get destroyed because of one, wrong decision. So
exactly.
Yeah. Bringing it back to YouTube, what's your best YouTube advice in one-ish sentence?
I mean, it's gonna sound very cliche, but ideation is king. Just focus more on ID generation, viewer psychology. I've tweeted about this as well. Like, focus more on the key elements, like psychology, like ID generation, like market research, like finding outliers. So many people are focused on, oh, I gotta do this AI, and oh, I gotta find a great editor. Oh, I gotta write this script. It is important. Like, scripts especially are important with storytelling and stuff. But people prioritize editing. People prioritize an AI voiceover or tuning that to the best of their ability. Bro, just spend 80% of your time on ideation and just record the damn voiceover yourself, man. Like, it's not that difficult. Look at me. My accent is horrendous. It takes me 8 hours a day to record a voiceover because I keep stumbling over words. But I'm still one of the most popular documentary channels on YouTube, even though I don't have a sexy accent like Sunny V2. I'm not a native English speaker like the Internet Anarchist, but I'm still competing with them purely because I'm focusing on that ideation, and ideation will make up for so many of your flaws in the videos. So if you have pretty bad editing, if it's a great video idea, no one will care. If you have a pretty bad voice or voiceover, if you have a great idea, no one will care. Even with packaging, you can get away with a lot if the idea is fantastic. So I would give as advice for everyone out there, just focus more on video ideas and ideation.
100%. You talked a little. This will be the last question. What do you think about? You talked about psychology. How do you go about like looking at that and figuring that out? Because that's a pretty important part. So, like, what are you doing to figure out the psychology behind like your target audience, or just in general too?
I mean, I'm not a professor in psychology or a psychologist, so I mean, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult, and of course, there's people with literal degrees and jobs in that. So I'm not claiming to be an expert here. I am not in any way. But what you could do is, when you're looking at thumbnails that stand out to you, for example, if you're looking at the homepage and you're seeing a thumbnail that stands out to you, ask yourself questions like, why did this stand out to me? What does the color contrast look like? What emotion does this thumbnail give me? What stands out to me the most in this thumbnail? Like, what grabbed my attention first? If you can answer those questions for yourself, you can spot patterns. And from that point onwards, you can actually implement those patterns and things you spot into your own packaging, thumbnails, and titles. That's what I teach a lot of people. Like, ask more questions and answer them for yourself. Because if you can answer them, then you know what to do.
It's a lot of consciously thinking or like consciously consuming to create an unconscious feeling for the viewers, so they, you can create that feeling for other people that they can, obviously click on that video and understand why it works. I really think that like even like for shorts, like just consciously scrolling to figure out why this short went viral, why this, why was their first frame, why was their hook, really just digging deeper into the why of everything. So yeah, that's a great
100%. 100%. Even with shorts, like if you truly break down how it's constructed, then it's so easy to replicate that. For me as well, I literally did a lot based on experience. So for me to teach the people around me right now, I really have to break down my old videos and what I did, because I just can't remember. It's purely based on intuition, gut feeling, and experience. So to teach people, I have to go back to my old videos. For example, the Nadia video, and I'm like, okay, what would have been the main factor here that people clicked on this video? So like I said before, OnlyFans. It's very controversial. Everyone hates it. Like it's literally one of the most hated things on the internet. So if they see OnlyFans and pair it with a very popular female figure, they're making that connection. They're like, she is a part of OnlyFans. We must hate her. Let's all go onto this video and see why she's part of OnlyFans. We want to know. Doxing. Very, very illegal thing to do. Not something many people do. And it's just an interesting thing. So if they see doxing, they want to click as well. So that's why text thumbnails are so effective as well. Because with text, you can make any claim you want. You can truly speak to your viewer with text. That's why it's so effective. You can put a quote there that will resonate with your viewer. You don't have to leave it to their imagination with an image. You can just literally tell them what you want them to think. That's why text thumbnails are absolutely popping off right now.
Did you just drop the sauce, bro? Oh, shoot.
Bro, that's it, man. That's why I literally used quote thumbnails for so long. Now I'm seeing a new trend where for documentary channels, like high quality, very nicely made thumbnails are popping off. So that's why I switched over to it. That's working really well. But for months, I was just putting words in there. I was just putting quotes in there, because that's how you can speak to your viewer. Literally speak to your viewer.
How many words would you put in? Was there like a specific cap you would do?
I mean, there's not a specific cap, but I want it to be readable in every single format. So for example, on a website like thumbsup.tv, where you can see your thumbnail in every single format, when I'm putting text, I want people to be able to read it in the sidebar as well, the smallest format. If that is done, then I think it's a good thumbnail. Also, the formatting has to be right. So the face on the right, for example, has to be like half of the thumbnail, and then on the left, the text has to be perfectly formatted, so there are no empty spaces in the thumbnail. It has to be formatted correctly. That is also a way, but normally I like to go for like 3 or 4 words.
Yeah, I'd say it's a fair like assessment. Like usually it's like you don't want to do more than that, and if you do, sometimes it works and it just surprises me. But generally, yeah, that is like the sweet spot. I got one more question.
Of course. I'm here all day.
What's the next level for you for YouTube? Talked a little bit about business earlier, but for YouTube specifically, what's the next level for you? What are you trying to achieve with that?
With Justical or YouTube in general, or
Well, with
Ideation Plus?
Justical, if you're going to expand, do more channels, what does the future look like? What's the plans for that?
So the thing is, with Justical, expenses are very high. I'm not sure if you know, but documentary channels, to run them at the quality they are takes a lot of expenses. So I luckily have a friend who is an editor of mine who doesn't charge me that much. It's still a lot compared to what the channel brings in. But if you pair that with the thumbnail maker, and if I ever have to get a scriptwriter in who isn't a complete then that will set me back like 1,000 to 1,500 per video, which is insane. Like that's absolutely insane. Because sorry to go on the rant here, but scriptwriters are absolutely like ridiculously bad at writing scripts right now. If you want the best opportunity in the YouTube market right now, in like the job market, become a scriptwriter, understand how rehooks work, understand how storytelling works, and just understand how basic English language works. Like, so many scriptwriters just make a script and it's like they're trying to hand in an essay to Harvard or something like that. We're talking about a football channel here, and they're talking about the succulent rise of the eloquent football star Lionel Messi. I'm like, we're talking to 6-year-olds and 15-year-old football fans here. We're not talking to Albert Einstein here. But it's ridiculous. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here. But
no, that's true. when me and Lyndon, we tried to hire a scriptwriter. I can't tell you, man. Like some of the scripts we read for samples, they were just beyond bad. I mean, holy cow! Like you said, the essays. People just write it like it's like they're writing, to their 5th grade teacher, trying to look impressive with all the big words, like you said. Like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, they don't understand that we will literally pay them if they just write a good story. They don't have to just fucking make some massive essay of it. But to give some more insight on that, I'm actually working with that basketball documentary channel right now, and I taught him how to write a good script, and he wrote this whole script, and I'm like, okay, it reads well, it's good, but I want you to practice that voiceover for me right now in front of me. Like, read this script as you were doing a voiceover. And he because he wanted me to do revisions. And I'm like, I was in 4 sentences. I'm like, okay, stop. Try to do the voiceover right now in front of me. And every sentence he went through, he like, okay, that doesn't flow well. Oh yeah, this is shit. This shouldn't be there. And at the end, I was just sitting in my chair, just looking at him for an hour, just correcting the whole script. I'm like, well done. You just made a good script. Because you need to practice like you're actually doing the voiceover, because there's a difference between reading a script and like speaking out loud. Like, most of these scriptwriters are making scripts for readers, not listeners. That's the main problem right now, because most people don't actually read it out loud. Because when you notice that if you read it out loud, it doesn't flow well, you correct it. But most of these scriptwriters, they're not gonna sit there, write a script, and then read it out loud, because they don't get paid for that, and that's the main problem.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true, because I know when I read my scripts, I always try to, I go through, read it, obviously as I'm making it, and try to make it flow. And once you get practice, you kind of understand, especially when you're writing for yourself. I think it's a little easier because like what you're gonna, how you would say different things. But when you're writing for somebody else, you really have to get into that person's mind and understand like how their voice is and how they want to portray themselves. For me, when I do it, I definitely focus on like tonality and stuff while I'm like reading the script. Like, does this, like you said, the flow, does the tonality flow together from like, asking a question to then bringing it to a different point and then just keeping it going. So yeah, that's a great point. But bringing it back.
Oh yeah, sure, go.
I was gonna say, bringing it back to Justicul and all that. Where's that headed?
Oh yeah, sorry, I went on
No,
a rant again. But yeah, to come back on that, that's why I haven't really scaled it yet, because the expenses are high. It's an absolute headache to get a scriptwriter on board. I don't have the time to just learn someone how to do it, and then they leave me for someone who pays them better. I just don't want to go through that. So the future first was selling it. I already actually accepted an offer at one point, but it fell through. It was definitely in 6 figures. But right now I'm really seeing the benefit of having some extra cash flow. So that's why I'm hopping on board again with my editor. We're doing it like just the two of us. So I might have less profit that way, but I'm just going to stick to 1 video a month, make that the best video I can possibly make it, and then just have some extra cash flow, like a few thousand here and there. It's just perfect, especially with a sponsorship here and there. It's definitely still profitable. So I won't probably scale until I make like 40K a month, and it doesn't matter to me. So I can just hire very good people and I can make a loss. But right now I just can't make a loss. I can't afford it.
Yeah, I feel that. Would you look into making another channel, or would that be too much of a time effort for you?
Yeah, if Justicul is fully automated or sold, I'm definitely looking into making a new channel with lower costs, because I truly feel like I can bring a channel off the ground. I've done it a few times now. But yeah, definitely I underestimated the power of good RPM, low costs, like a good niche. I always thought, and I still believe that, like everyone can break through in any niche. And I still feel like you should truly enter a niche where your unfair advantages are the most beneficial for you. So I wouldn't enter the basketball niche as a doctor, and I wouldn't enter the I don't know, dental hygiene niche on YouTube as a basketball player. Yeah. I still believe in that, but I do think that if you develop your skill set and there are multiple niches you can get into, then I would really look into the costs of videos, the RPM, the sponsorship opportunities, if you can maybe have a backend offer, just many monetization opportunities, because there are some pretty expensive niches out there, like the documentary niche, or even finance. It's high RPMs, but finance editors, like they can ask very, very high prices because they're used to very, very wealthy entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I definitely found that out when I've been looking for editors. What niche? I don't know if you want to drop the sauce. What niche would you look to potentially get into?
The thing is, I would still like to be somewhat involved in the voiceover as well, because I feel like people lack that as well. I just love making videos, so I'm not sure if I could fully automate it. If I couldn't, I would probably just go into a different documentary niche, not more like general, but maybe something less expensive, like maybe like the stick figure stuff. That could work. But if I truly wanted to automate something, I would go into like those high demand niches, like the health niche, for example. Because in that health niche, the 50+ health niche, I truly feel like I could like become a very like position myself well there, because it's all about getting attention in that niche. You have to make those old people feel like they're going to die if they're not clicking on your video. And if there's anything I'm good at, then it's absolutely getting the attention of people, either in negative or positive way. Is it morally correct? Probably not. But if you're looking for an automation channel, then just literally doing like, if you ignore these signs on your liver, you're dying in 3 years. Guaranteed. Some grandma who's bringing in amazing RPM for your channel, who's watching on her TV, because you're all watching on TV, so that's great TV viewership for your YouTube channel as well, even higher RPMs, and it's health, even higher RPMs. They watch all the way through because they're like, maybe I'm missing something, I gotta watch it all the way, maybe I'm dying otherwise. So health niche, definitely.
That's genius. I love it. That's amazing.
I definitely wouldn't promote it on Twitter, because that would be immorally correct. It would be like, oh, look at this. Another 1 of 10. Another 1 of 10. Don't ask me what it is, but it's a 1 of 10. I'm making 5K a month right now. Don't ask me what it is, though. That would definitely be like a passive project, not a crown jewel of my career.
Oh, man. That's good.
So if you want the sauce, make old people scared. That's how you make money on YouTube.
That's going in the intro for sure.
That's the sauce, man. Fuck the fucking complicated charge. Just make old people angry or mad or sad or scared. Just do that.
I'm on it, man. I think I got to do it now. Yeah, so I think I'm going to use that bank account password, and then I'll log in, and then I'll take all your money, and that's it.
Yeah, remember, Linden Chasteen 13.
Got it. Yeah, I'm going to try that right now.
You want to know what the 13 is for?
Yeah, what is it for?
It's his birth year.
Wait, 13?
2013.
Oh.
Didn't you know?
No, I didn't actually. I thought it was 2012. I thought it was 2012.
He's like a Snapchat millionaire. He's the youngest, richest teen on YouTube right now.
Dang, I didn't realize I live with him. I didn't even know that. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like, the way he develops his beard on that age, it's crazy, man.
It's wild. Well, thank you for coming on, Leander. I really appreciate it, man. This was great.